£10 million for a Palace bench warmer. Munn handed to Lennon on a silver platter. Patati nearly gone over a weather forecast. This window's turning mental, and Rangers are right in the eye of the storm. Subscribe now if you're sick of silence. Here we say what they're too scared to. This is football development, or is it sabotage dressed up as strategy? Because what Rangers are about to do isn't just baffling, it's infuriating. Mason Munn, 19 years old, a goalkeeper with promise, potential, and plenty of pedigree, is being shipped off on loan to Dunfermline, run by none other than Neil Bloody Lennon. That Neil Lennon. The same man who's practically a walking Celtic tracksuit. Rangers Chiefs have decided to greenlight this nonsense. Apparently, it's for his development. Apparently, Lennon's the right man to shape his career. Are you kidding me? This isn't about football. This is about loyalty. This is about principle, and this smells like betrayal. They say he needs minutes. They say he won't get them at Ibrox. Even if Jack Butland's out, there's another signing lined up before Munn gets near the nets. So the solution, send him to the second tier, 7th place. No promotion ambition, no pressure, no class. But here's the twist. Rangers know the support doesn't want it. Social media's in flames. You've said it loud and clear. You don't want to hand over talent to a man who spent half his career sneering at everything this club stands for. And yet, what happens? They're pushing the deal through anyway. No shame, no respect. They say it'll be good for Munn, that it's long-term thinking, that he'll gain experience, maybe. But if you think Lennon's the man to develop Rangers' talent, you've lost the plot. The only thing Lennon's developed in his career is a persecution complex and a collection of touchline bans. And here's the real kicker, if the boots were swapped. If it was Celtic loaning a young gem to a team managed by, say, Barry Ferguson, front page outrage, BBC documentaries, SPFL inquiries. But for Rangers, a shrug, a smirk, a pat on the head. Would Celtic ever hand their future number 1 to a manager who bleeds blue? No. Then why the hell are we? £10 million. Let me repeat it so it sinks in. £10 million for a winger who couldn't get into Crystal Palace's bench, This is what Rangers are willing to throw at Jesurun Rak-Sakyi. You watching this madness unfold? This isn't ambition. This is desperation dressed in a sharp suit. A player who limped his way through a championship campaign, vanished during the business end, and still they want to glue an obligation to buy clause onto a loan like it's a badge of honor. You call that scouting? I call it lunacy. Rak-Sakyi's quick, flashy on the ball, had a few moments for Sheffield United, 7 goals, 2 assists. Not bad. £10 million for a lad with dodgy hamstrings and 0 Premier League impact. That's not bold, that's blind. And still, they're planning an improved offer because rejection only makes them more determined to set fire to the checkbook. They're acting like they've just discovered the next Brian Laudrup when the reality is closer to Junior Hoylett. Meanwhile, you've got Weslley Patati, a proper flair player from Maccabi Tel Aviv, 13 goals, 10 assists, Europa League experience, 21 years old, and built like a ballerina with a sledgehammer. And what's the issue? Price. £8 million is too much. For Patati, but £10 million for Rak-Sakyi? Sign the papers, no questions asked. Make it make sense. But here's the kicker, they say Patati might not adapt to the weather. The weather, that's the concern. Because the clouds over Sheffield are pure Brazilian sunshine. You're telling me we can't afford Patati unless we flog someone big. Is Hamza Igamane already halfway out the door? Are we gambling our entire summer budget on a winger who finished last season in the physio room? What are you seeing in Rak-Sakyi that justifies the madness? If you haven't seen yesterday's video yet, you're missing out. Explosive news about Rangers that'll leave every fan stunned. Go check it out now.